All right, we're here at Fremont-Mills High School with principal, head football coach, and athletic director Jeremy Christiansen. Coach, first of all, talk about your team, your season. Obviously, you guys made the playoffs, had some rough luck with the injury to Seth, but still had a pretty good season.
Yeah, our guys played well. We did well during the season, made it to the playoffs, won our district, and then obviously ran into a little bit of a deal there in the quarterfinal game in Remsen. Lost to a very good team, but I thought our guys played very well to work through some adversity. So it's always nice to be able to make playoffs and then kind of see what happens.
Well, yeah, let's get right to Seth and kind of what he's meant for you. As a sophomore, after the year, he was offered immediately by both Iowa State and Nebraska. Why did these teams initially gravitate towards him at such a young age, particularly at an 8-man level? You just don't see that very often.
Well, I think that any time you just see athletic ability, you see instinctfulness, you see a kid that can fly around the field on both sides of the ball, and then obviously he's just continuing to grow. I think he's grown an inch since football this year, and just very explosive, and has a nose for the ball that bodes very well for us.
When you have kind of a franchise-level player at this level like that, how do you utilize him both offensively and defensively?
Well, obviously, offensively, we put him in the backfield. There's times that we've handed the ball to him 40 times a game because he's got to take the workload at that point in time. We got guys in front to do a very good job of creating some space. Defensively, we put him right in the middle at middle linebacker. All the calls go through him. Obviously, very, very strong on the run game, and then I think he had 3 or 4 interceptions this year in the pass game for us, and always trying to make that a bigger part of his game. And
you mentioned middle linebacker. Is that kind of where the teams like Kansas State, Nebraska, Minnesota, Iowa State, et cetera, is that where they really see him best at the next level?
Yep, in that linebacker crew somewhere. Obviously there's multiple positions, and I think he's got the length to play a little bit on the outside, very instinctful to play inside, and I think it'll be interesting to see where they put him and what they can do.
He's got a good number of offers already. What other teams do you see really maybe trying to get in the picture that could potentially offer now until like the spring?
I don't know. I think that everybody's kind of involved is already offered at this point in time, to my knowledge. I think that he's just kind of sorting through his options, and we'll see where he ends up.
Yeah, Nebraska has been here a number of times. Coach Frost came in your school. Was that kind of a surprise or a big deal when Coach Frost has showed up in I think it was December when he came here?
Yeah, obviously anytime you get coaches like that, it's always a big deal. Create some fanfare around the building, especially that morning. There was all kinds of things happening, and I think a lot of kids got their picture taken with Coach Frost at that point in time, because he showed up right at the start of the school, so buses were unloading. So that was a big deal, I think, for the people around here. But as coaches come through, they're kind of getting used to it. It's kind of becoming a thing with all the coaches that have been through here recently.
In Western Iowa, give us an idea, what is the college football world like? Because you get all Nebraska media every day. Is it more Husker feel out here, or is it still heavy Iowa State, Iowa, when you kind of look at where you're at in the state of Iowa?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably heavy Husker just because obviously that's what we hear on the news all the time. I'd say Iowa State obviously still has a pretty strong hold in some areas, and it's always interesting in the fall when they play each other and everybody gets fired up.
Yeah, Seth said as he kind of looks ahead, he's trying to take his official visits in the spring, in the summer. As far as how you look at it, do you see him? What do you think he's looking for, I guess, when he kind of breaks down his decision?
I don't know. I think he's looking for, the academic first. I think he's looking for a spot that, kind of feels like this is for me. And when it clicks, and he'll be ready to make his decision at that point in time.
And coming off the knee injury, where do you want to see him kind of grow, develop? And has there been any benefit with it just because he's probably been able to lift more and kind of gain some weight over the time he's missed the basketball season?
Obviously from a football standpoint, we're wanting him to get back in action as fast as possible for track. He's got baseball coming up. And so obviously just getting the strength and power back and get ready for a very good senior season.
So he's a 4-sport guy.
Yep, that is correct.
And how is that pretty common to be a 4-sport guy?
We've got quite a few of them. Yep, a lot of our athletes, boys and girls, are involved in a little bit of everything. And at a small school, it takes a whole bunch of them to make it work. So.
And do you get the sense that college coaches that they have to love that when they see a guy that plays 4 sports?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously it gives you a well-rounded athlete at that point in time, and somebody that kind of understands the work ethic that is needed to be successful.
What's he do in baseball? What positions does he play?
A little bit of everything. He pitches a little bit, plays center field, plays left field, and so we're very excited to see what track and baseball has to offer here shortly.
Hey, well, Coach, thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to following Seth here as he goes through the recruiting process.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right, guys.